Hello students, welcome to Competitive Exam Library YouTube channel. So today we are going to see how we can convert the block diagram into signal flow graph. These are some rules you have to keep it in the mind for conversion of block diagram into signal flow graph. So first point is, first you have to assume where you have to assume the nodes are at the input and the output at each every summing point, at each every takeoff point, and also in between two cascaded nodes. So you have to assume the nodes are variable. That is the first point you have to keep. Then after identifying the nodes, you have to draw separately as a big thick dots. Then number the dots with the order 1 2 3. That is the second point you have to do. After that, then from the block diagram, find the gain between the nodes in the main forward path and connect all the corresponding nodes by directed straight line segments. So, and mark the gain between the nodes on the segment. So, whenever you have taken, after identifying the nodes, you have to draw the straight lines with the gain. That is what the meaning it is saying, that you have to mark with each gain. So, from one node to another node, that is what the point is saying here. That is the third step you have to do. Next is, after that you have to check, is there any feed forward path between various nodes. Mark the gain between the nodes on the branches. So first you have to identify where the what we can say, where the branches are connected here. Let us take, this is example G1 and G2. For this branch is connected. After that you have to identify the gains. So I have explained in the previous point only, with the direction arrows you have to represent with the gain, that is G3 I have represented here. Next, after that you will have the feedback parts. If any feedback parts are there, that is also to be identified. Then you can represent with the various node and mark the gain of that feedback part also with the sign. Sign is very important, so you should mark this feedback elements with the sign. So very important, feedback elements will be marked with the sign here. So whether it may be a positive sign or negative sign, positive or negative, you have to mark with that sign also. See how we are going to convert some summing point to signal flow graph. See, I told at summing point we are taking one node here. Simply you have to take a node. See, here you can observe the node is signal is coming inside, here also coming is inside. Next the signal is going from this side, so this is also signal is going, another signal is adding here, so you have to add the signal here. Like this you can convert your summing point into takeoff point, which is a node in case of the signal flow graph. Next here, if you have a takeoff point in the block diagram, so that is also can be converted into, here you observe here, so block diagram. So here you are having a takeoff point in the block diagram, that can be taken as the node here. So simply you have the signals are coming inside and another signal is going outside. That is what you have to represent with the arrows here. Let us take the another example. So whenever you have a gain with the box here like this, how you can represent is simply with the branch, and it is traveling from this point to this point. So this is with the gain. That is the point number 4 we are already discussed, that is with the gain, with the arrow mark you have to indicate between the two nodes here. So node we are going to assume our variables are input to output like this. So next you are having summing point with the takeoff point. So let us take an example here. If there is a summing point with the takeoff point, what you can do? So you can represent this summing point one node and the takeoff point is another node. See, I have represented here. See, for this summing point two signals are coming inside. For this takeoff point one signal is going outside. That is also individually represented like this also. Or in another fashion also you can represent. You consider these two nodes will be same because you are not having any signal between these two nodes. You can consider it as one node here. Then you can represent one is coming inside, that is for summing point, another is going outside, that is for the takeoff point. Like this also you can represent your summing point with the takeoff point here. Next you can see, whenever you have a takeoff point before the summing point, how to represent, that is also I have given one example here. So whenever you have the some takeoff point, that is what I have represented here. So then you will have from the takeoff point one signal is going out here, then from this you have one summing point also, that can be the signal is going outside from the summing point, that can be also replaced like this. See, this is a coming incoming signal, so signal is coming inside of this summing point. So you observe here that also can be replaced with the single node, because you are not having any signal in between these two nodes, you can represent with the single node. One is coming inside, okay, another is going outside. So from this some takeoff point the signal is going outside, for the summing point the signal is coming inside, you can replace like this also. So these are the different diagrams you can convert block diagram into signal flow graph. So that's all in this video. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe the channel. So if you have any query, please make comment in the comment box, I can reply. Thank you very much.